right, welcome everybody. This is lesson 7. My goodness, we have done 7 lessons already. That's pretty amazing. At least it is for me. I hope it is for you as well. And I want to say thank you to Picante Pete for that wonderful intro. And this lesson is called Two-Piece Leg and Thigh. And you guessed it, we're going to be working on the thighs today. And so anyhow, let's look at right now what we got here. We have so far been able to work with the head, the face, the neck, the chest. We drew the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists and the palms, the torso, and last week we did the hips. And so now we're going to be working with the thighs. I'll go ahead and pop those in. Blam, there you go. It's going to be pretty easy today. All we're really doing is drawing the circle for the upper thigh joint, the thigh itself, and the knee. Okay? Now I did want to show you the overall size of the thighs. People have different size thighs. I've seen people with very long thighs, and I've seen people with short thighs, kind of stubby legs, and maybe longer torsos. So at this point, people start to change sizes a little bit, and that's what makes us different and amazing. So I would just say, overall, the average human would probably have legs or thighs about this length here. What I did is I drew from the top of the chest, probably to about right where the waist is, where the hips start. It's about 2 heads in diameter. Okay, one head and one head. And then as far as the thigh is concerned, right here from about where the line starts, and then all the way down to about the knee is about 2 heads as well. So if you're drawing in that sort of length for the thighs and the rest of the body, you'll start to see that there's continuity, and that your humans look relatively normal. Later, when you start drawing elves and dwarves and all sorts of different, children, superheroes, you may find that you're drawing your thighs a little bit longer or shorter, depending. But anyhow, let's go to the next page, because I want to first off talk about the thighs, how to draw them, and their limitations. So I'm going to zoom in here. And don't worry, we'll get down to those bottom portions in just a second. All right, so if you recall, when we were drawing the hips, we started with the T. And before I start drawing, let me put another layer there. Before I start drawing or finishing off the hips, I wanted to show you where the top portion of these thighs come in. Now, these are just regular circles, and they're going to fit within the T. Okay, you don't want them coming out of the T. Later, when we start drawing hips and whatnot, we can work with that. But as of right now, just to draw this stick man, it's going to fit within the confines of the T, which means that the circle probably won't come all the way down to the bottom of the T here. It's going to stop, it's going to fall a little short, because we want to draw an actual circle. All right, if you look at it from the side, really quickly, this would be from the front and the back right now. Right now, we're not too concerned about body parts. So really, the front and back are going to look exactly the same. If I was looking at the buttocks of the person, it would look this way. If I was looking at the front area of the person, it would look this way. From the side, same thing. The circle fits within the confines of that T. We may have done the T a little bit more narrow last week. We can bring it out and fit that circle inside, okay? So there you have it. That's where that belongs. Now, if we were to finish these hips off, you'd see that circle actually is within the hips a little bit. And here you wouldn't notice it, because we can't really see these curves. So there you have it. The line itself, and then we have the knees. Now, keep in mind, the knees are not as big as the circle for the top of the thighs, but they are still relatively large. So let's keep them kind of within those confines. We don't want to draw the knees too small, because Well, knees aren't very small. If you actually look at your knee, it's a pretty decent size joint. So, all right, let's go down and let's look at the limitations here of the front view. Now, what can a leg do? Well, the thigh part of the leg really has only so much that it can turn. Now, if you're Jean-Claude Van Damme, not Van Damme, but Van Damme, he was known for his splits, and even then, his legs probably went out about that much. I don't know if they went all the way straight, but I'm telling you, he was probably one of the only people that I knew at that time that could do that kind of thing. And he was known for it. He was popular for it. So I would say it's about as high as you can be able to raise your hips before they just snap off and you have no more legs. And now that leg can hang straight down. Now, if you're bringing the leg over down as much as you possibly can, maybe if you're trying to cross your legs, that would be why your leg would maybe make it to about right there. I would say it falls right under the center of your hips, but any further, it's just not going to happen. Now, there are people that have some pretty limber joints out there, but for the most part, your average human, this is going to be the area of how much your leg can bend inward and outward. Okay. Now, if we look at it from a side view, if you're pulling your leg back and doing a really good stretch, maybe you're in sports and you're holding your leg back and up like this and your foot's up here, well, then you're probably going to get to about this area here. As you go upward, some people are really good at doing in fact, let me just rotate this. Imagine if someone was there we go, on the floor here, and they were leaning forward and touching their feet with their hands. Well, that's about as far as you're going to get with your leg in accordance with your hips. So that is your limitation. Let me go back for the how high you can raise your leg and how far back you can raise your leg. You're within this boundary right here. Really, the only way you're going to get good at knowing this and feeling it out is by drawing with live action characters. And so that's what we're going to go ahead and do right now. We're going to work with this first one here. And we have a dancer. I just was on Pixabay. I picked the... I searched for ballet, and so this is one of the ones I got, and I thought this would be a pretty cool one to draw. So I'm going to minimize, or I'm actually going to reduce the opacity here, and we're going to go, let's see, let me get my brush. And again, we're just going to start with the head and work our way down to the thighs, okay? So here we go. Always do the same thing, and you're going to notice that it's not as hard as it would seem. Okay, now why did I go in? Well, because I would say the center where that neck would come out would be right about there. Okay, right up there. It's not going to go here, it's going to go somewhere within that circle. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get this chest drawn. Great. Now, again, her arms are raised, so those shoulders are going to be raised up. They are going to still stay within the chest partially, and we're not going to worry about all the muscle tone right now. Because this arm is going back, it's going to look shorter than this arm, okay? All right, let's get those forearms. All right, now, again, I'm going to start with the hand. Last week, we kind of learned our lesson on that one. There we go, and there's a little bit of that there. Now, I do notice that I'm not right at the center, so I'm going to redo that forearm. There we go. It's at the center of that hand. And this one would be here. It's kind of going off in this direction. And wow, I did good right at the center there. All right, so we'll draw the torso. And we'll get this T, this block letter T. All right, and before I start drawing in all of the, I'm gonna make that a little bit less wide. But before I start drawing all of the arcs on those hips, I'm gonna get that circle drawn now. And let's make it a little bit wider. There we go. All right, and now we've drawn the joint for the hip. We'll draw the other one here. Now we don't see it, but we know it's there. It's going to look relatively similar, right? All right, awesome. So let's draw this back one first. It's always easier to start from the back, kind of work your way forward. And see how big that knee is? I mean, it's literally almost the same size as this circle we did for the hip. And so that's why I'm saying let's not draw these little dinky circles for the knees. We got to make sure that they're done right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and draw this one. Now this leg is kind of turning toward us, so it's gonna look like that leg's a little bit short, but it's really not. It's just that it's coming toward us, and that's why it's looking a little bit shorter. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and draw those arcs for the hips. And I will erase some of this here. If you hear a dog barking, that's my loud neighbor's dog. I've asked that dog to not bark while I'm recording, and she just doesn't seem to listen to me. How do I know it's a she? I don't. It's just that my dog is a girl dog, so I just assume all the other dogs in the world are girls. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of that, and there you go. That is looking amazing. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty proud of the fact that we've got these really cool characters starting to show up here, just by adding all these arms and legs and whatnot. So anyway, awesome. I hope yours looks similar, and we will now go on to the next drawing, and this is going to be of a guy that's running towards us. I mean, running is very energetic, and although he looks relatively static here, we're going to try to see if we can get the motion that's going on with these legs and these arms, okay? So let's go ahead and reduce the opacity. Let's get on this layer here, and we'll start with the head, which will be easy because he just doesn't have a lot of hair. In fact, he's got no hair. All right, his eyes are going to be somewhere where those shades are. He's kind of looking down. All right, I'm going to say about right there is where the neck is. We don't want to make the neck too long. We want to make about half of the diameter of this head, okay? All right, so say about right here is where his chest is. He's given us a little bit of the top portion of his chest, so that's why it looks a little long. We're going to go ahead and get those shoulders drawn in. Draw the upper arms. We'll draw the elbows. Looking good. All right, let's get these hands going. We know that we have the front face where the fingers connect, and then it's going to veer off. It's going to kind of go 3D, so it's going to get a little bit as if it's going away from us here. Okay, we got the wrist. Let's see, we'll go with where the fingers are here as well. Oops, let me straighten that out. We got to keep those lines going in the same direction. There's a wrist, and there we go. And then we'll go ahead and bring that torso down. Let's draw this T now. All right, there is our hip. And then we'll go ahead and draw the, let's keep that within there. Draw that circle. Man, how many lines does it take to draw a circle? My goodness. Sometimes sketching can get messy. In fact, let me clean that up. I'm a little embarrassed of that circle. I'm so sorry. All right, there we go. And now all we have to do is draw this thigh coming down. Nice size knee. Wow, looking good. Let's get those arcs there for the hips. That looks awesome. And now let's get rid of this picture, and that looks cool. We can actually see just with a little bit of bend there. Sorry, I couldn't talk. Just with a little bit of bend there with the legs, you can see that he's doing something. He's plowing forward. His head's down. He's focused. His arms and his hands are kind of waving around right there. And so because of that, it just looks like he's in motion, and that's exactly what we wanted. It's a slow jog. It's a determined jog. He's going to get where he needs to get and get his exercise for that day. So well done, sir. Well done. All right, let's go with this guy. Now he's running a little bit faster. A younger guy, trying to prove himself. All right, so let's reduce the opacity and let's see what we can do with him. All right, actually, let me get on the right layer here. All right, so get that face. That's where his eyes are, his nose. Now, notice his back is kind of just a little bit at an angle. See, his shoulders a little bit higher. So you always want to make sure that you're aware of that, because I'm telling you, that little bit of twist with the back makes it look really, really nice. And I'll show you what I mean. If you were to just do it straight, it'd look one way. But if you do that chest where it's like the way it is right now, with that little bit of angle, oh man, it just makes it look so much nicer. Really be aware of those slight variations in these bodies that you're drawing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get rid of what I don't need, so I don't want it to get too messy. And let's go ahead and get this upper arm with the elbow. Now, I am going to draw this torso real quick because I want to keep going. And I'm going to just draw a hand in the way that I think the hand probably ought to go, because I am going to continue on with it. I want to draw the whole body, even though eventually it will be hidden behind his chest and his ribs and all that. It's okay. I want to just draw it anyways. All right, so it's going to be something like that. It will be behind this torso, so we're going to leave that line there. And we're going to go ahead and draw this elbow and upper arm. In fact, let me erase that too. There we go. This one's nice and easy. There we are. All right, so we've got the arms, we've got the whole upper portion of the body, and now we're going to just get this T, all right? So we've got a leg going this way, we got a leg going that way. Where does the T go? Does it kind of bend with them? No, it's just going to be right here in the center. It's going to be our legs that are going in and out, okay? And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and he's probably about there. I will probably draw the T right about that angle. Let me get rid of some of these ones I didn't need. And again, this is sometimes it's a little bit of guesswork, but that's where I'm guessing it's going to be. Also, too, I wanted to make sure that when I'm drawing this T, I don't want my torso line to be way out here. It's gotta work with the T as well. It's going to be right there in the center. So let me just adjust that a little bit. And let's get these circles drawn for the thighs. All right. And I will go ahead and just erase this real quick. All right, we're jamming, we're doing it. Let's get that knee. And then let's go ahead and draw this one as well. Beautiful. Now again, when it comes to legs, I always try to draw this slight curve. Anyways, let's get rid of that character, and there we go. This guy looks like he's running, and really did not take that much more time to get those hips and thighs in there. But how cool is that? And see how that angle just really just makes it feel like he's in motion. If we were to have drawn it straight, it just wouldn't have done the same justice. So be aware of that kind of stuff, guys. All right, we're going to head to this last one. This guy to me looks like the guy from Flight of the Conchords. I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if you've never heard of that band, I would listen to it. They are super funny. They even got a show on HBO, and super cool guys, super funny guys. All right, so let's reduce the opacity and let's get started. I think his name is Jermaine. But hey, this was on Pixabay, so maybe he allowed it. Maybe this is his doppelganger. I have no clue. But let's call him Jermaine anyways. We're drawing Jermaine today. All right. In fact, let me reduce the opacity just a little bit more. All right. Now we're not so confused. Let's bring that neck down. Let's now see it again. This is just going at a little bit of an angle here, and that's good. We want to draw these bodies in motion, and that's exactly what's going on here. Give them just a little bit of side action here with that chest. We won't draw that side. All right, so right there, I'm gonna keep that. And then let's draw these shoulders. This one's going up a little bit. He's kind of raising his shoulder just a little. So there we go. And we'll draw this upper arm with the elbow. All right. We'll just draw this arm coming down with his elbow. Draw this forearm. I can already tell I went down a little lower than I wanted to. I'll just draw this hand, and then we'll make sure we do it right. All right, now find the center. Booyah. Awesome. And then we'll go ahead and draw this. Now we know where his hand's kind of coming forward. So we'll give a little bit of depth on that square. And then we'll make that round area for the wrist, and we'll leave it like that. Looking good so far, guys. Looking good. All right, I'm gonna draw the torso. Now we're gonna have to do a little bit of guesswork here for these hips. The thing with this is that they're coming forward. The legs are. The hips themselves, though, it's not like they're just bending up. They can't do that, right? They can do a little bit of bend. The back can do a little bit of bend, and so they are, but not to the point where we're going to notice too much going on with the hips. We will give it a little bit of 3D perspective. And we'll go ahead and leave it like that. I think that's good. We'll draw those circles for the hips. And this one is coming from, probably we got to start from there. So it's coming about like that, giving a little bit of roundness. And this one's coming forward, about right there. I'll give that one a little bit of roundness there. And let's see here. Let me get rid of some of these lines. And I'm going to go ahead and draw those arcs. And I'll go ahead and erase this as well. Practice, practice, practice. Get yourself a magazine or two and just do this throughout. If you've got Photoshop or some sort of art program on your computer, do what I'm doing. Reduce the opacity and just draw over them. But this kind of exercise is super good. It's going to be really, really helpful to you. I am going to get rid of that so we know that that circle is in front. These were coming forward, so these legs didn't look as long, remember? So there you have it for this week. Really work on your thighs and your knees and working that, connecting them with your hips. When we get to next week, we're going to be almost done. We've got the calves, and then the week after we're going to do the feet. And at that point, we'll be done with series 1, where we have our own stickmen that we can really start to play with and have some fun with. Until then, I will see you next week on Thursday. Have a blessed week ahead.